Hey folks, Jason JTL, Painfully Honest Tech, and I'm back again today. It's the big day. It is the day we have all been waiting for. You can pre-order the iPhone 8 and the iPhone 8 Plus. And yay, there was much rejoicing. So seriously, tell me, did you go and pre-order the iPhone 8? The iPhone 8 Plus? What's that? No? But why not? It's the new iPhone. It's all new. It's got glass. Okay, so we come to the discussion at hand. The iPhone 8 and the iPhone 8 Plus are completely useless products. Why is that? Okay, so first off, let me ask you, who is the iPhone 8 or the iPhone 8 Plus for? Any answers? People who don't want to spend a couple of $100 extra bucks for the iPhone XS? People who want wireless charging but don't want to spend money? Is it for people who just like spec bumps and slight cosmetic changes? I'm not saying it's going to be a bad device. That's not what I'm saying. But the existence of the iPhone X makes the existence of the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus completely irrelevant. They are useless in every way, shape, and form. Will anyone buy it? I'm actually excited to see, at the end of the day, what kind of numbers come out of today's pre-order blitz. Because I really don't think that there's going to be a whole lot of excitement and pre-ordering going on of the 8 and 8 Plus. Because everybody wants the X. And let's talk about that for a second. Let's talk a little bit about what the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus are, why they might exist other than products for people to buy, and what that means for us as potential Apple customers. I'm a long-time Apple customer. So what's different about the iPhone 8 as compared to the 7 and the Plus models? They got a glass back, so there's wireless charging, and it's slightly cosmetically different, but really looks exactly the same as the 6, 6S, 7, right? So it's not that big a difference. It's got camera bump. The cameras are better. Cameras are always better. It's got a better screen, which is, still not putting it up to the levels of things like just about any flagship Android phone that you can purchase these days. Now, and it's not an apples to apples comparison, Android to Apple. It's an apples to Android comparison, I guess. Anyway. It's got a different chip, the A11 Bionic. And if anybody is the same age as me, you're hearing that sound. $6 million man? Anyone? Anyway. So, is there any way that you can justify buying the iPhone 8 over the iPhone X? Maybe your phone is 3 years old and falling apart, and you need a phone before the iPhone X comes out. Maybe you don't care about your phone, but you need a new... I don't know. Why would anybody buy this phone? They like the old design better? Now, this is something that Apple has typically done. They've done this before. They've kept around old models and created new looks with from the 5S to the 6, etc., etc. We still have the iPhone SE, right? But I think they've done something different this time. This isn't just like we're keeping the old models around. They could have just kept the 7, or they could have made a 7S, or they could have. But what they wanted to do was something slightly more nefarious. So let's think about the storage options that we have. We've got 64 gigs, which is double what the minimum was before, which was double what the minimum was before. But now Apple's really pushing 4K 60 frames per second video as a huge feature for this phone. And it is a huge feature. However, if you get the 64 gigabyte phone and you do anything but just incredibly casual video making, 64 gigabytes are going to go away like that. I mean, I shoot in 4K, and trust me, like, each one of these clips, a 6-minute clip is 4 or 5 gigabytes. Okay, so you do the math. 64 gigabyte phone, not going to do you any good whatsoever. So you got to go for 256 if you care at all about what the camera can do. So that gives you a $200 price bump. Apple might be trying to make us think that they are keeping the budget-minded people in their ecosystem, right? However, $699 for an iPhone 8 is still the same price as a lot of Android flagships and even more, right? So they are doing a little bit of a bait and switch, and what they're really achieving here is they have created an incredible new price tier. They kept their prices the same for the phones that they were already selling and did a spec bump, and then they created like a super premium phone that cost $1,200. Now, from a business standpoint, this is smart stuff, but it's also really cynical, and it's also really manipulative, because everybody's going to want to have the iPhone X, and everybody's going to, if they want to take advantage of the camera, need to get the iPhone X 256 gigabyte model. So maybe it's just a matter of attrition. Like, if you can't come up with $1,200 or pay the monthly on a $1,200 phone, then maybe you go for the other ones. But I don't know. I don't know that there's anyone out there. If there's anyone out there, down in the comments, tell me, are you buying the iPhone 8 or 8 Plus over the X? Let me know, because I don't think so. It gives Apple a shot at market share that they haven't already had. So traditionally, they've had their budget model, which has been the SE, and it's really not that budget. And then they've had their flagships, a big and a small flagship, while Samsung has had a big and a small flagship in the 6 and the Edge, and then the Note 7, S7. So anyway, Samsung's got 3 flagship phones, and Apple now has 3 flagship phones as well. So they are trying to create parity amongst themselves and Samsung. However, instead of the top-end price being $999, that's how, the bait and switch. They sell you 64 gigs for $999, and then they say, but $1,200 gets you 256 gigabytes. So tell me what you think down in the comments. Thanks for being here. This has been another painfully honest thought piece on Apple and their cynical business strategies, where they kind of lie to us but kind of don't. I really appreciate you being here. Like, subscribe, do all that kind of stuff. My name is Jason, sometimes known as the JTL, but this is Painfully Honest Tech. Thank you for being here. Until the next time, I am out.